All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a pullback as we expected. Many altcoins are hitting key resistances. Some of them are breaking out past some key resistances, but we were talking about the Bitcoin range and that rejection from our local golden pocket area to see a dump down to make one more low, and it is exactly following the plan we laid out yesterday. And we are seeing altcoin dominance continue to drop, coming up to some very key support levels, and altcoin opportunities abound. And yes, we have seen a lot of the altcoin pumps play out to key resistances, but I do think we still have opportunity in this market for altcoins to run. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining. I appreciate all you guys. Curtis J, we will do an update on ICP. We will do some altcoins as well. I'm going to cover Bitcoin really briefly. Not too much to cover on Bitcoin because we talked about this yesterday. And if you guys go watch the stream yesterday, we were expecting this exact thing to happen. So first, let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's pull our golden pocket from our all-time high down to our correction lows. And we're going to just turn on that golden pocket. We were expecting a move up to this golden pocket area. Remember, we said the golden pocket 786 area, where if we were going to put in a lower high and continue our overall three-wave corrective move down to 115.2K, we were expecting a rejection from this general area and for the range to continue. We knew we were going into the weekend. We knew that when Bitcoin ranges like this and Bitcoin dominance is dumping hard, the altcoins do tend to run pretty fiercely. And that is exactly what we have been seeing. We have had some very good opportunities on long trades on altcoins. And really, I think those are going to continue, but nothing goes straight up forever. And we do need to expect small pullbacks along the way, especially when we're hitting into some key resistances on some of the altcoins. So we will go over a lot of the altcoins today, go over some pullbacks. We're going to go over the total market cap chart here. Some very important things happening with the total market cap. We can go over our total 3 chart and talk about the total 3 chart and what is about to happen here in the next weeks with the crypto market. So guys, yes, in yesterday's video, if you guys were tuned in during the beginning, we were talking about how on Tuesday, we were grinding up in this ascending channel structure and we had front run our golden pocket. You could see we had barely front run our golden pocket and we started to dump there. Now, because of this front run of the golden pocket, we were expecting a bigger 3-wave move up into that golden pocket, rejecting from that general area, and then seeing a 5-wave impulse down really quickly in a C wave to complete our bigger A, B, C correction into our key high time frame support, being that support that's down. Oh, let me get rid of some of this stuff here. That is being our key high time frame support level of that 0.5 Fibonacci retrace in confluence with the range lows and our pitchfork band, pitchfork midline of support. And this pitchfork midline is a very key pitchfork midline, because let me go ahead and zoom out again and I'll just refresh and remind you guys, this pitchfork is pulled from our last cycle from the COVID 2020 lows to the, let me zoom out a little bit more here. Let's go to the 2-day chart. From our COVID 2020 lows all the way to our 65K highs down to our bear market lows. And I did get a question in my comments about why I chose the COVID lows and the 65K top instead of the actual lows in December 2018 and the 69K highs. And let me explain this for you, because the guy asked, did you just choose those pivot points so that your uh, pitchfork fits well. And that is absolutely not the case. The case is that this was a more than 50% dump to the downside. And it was really a black swan event that marked a key low in that market cycle. And this was 2 years after our low. So in some ways, it's a new cycle or a new portion of the cycle. We did get our parabolic run in 2018 to June of 2019, and then we corrected for about a year to the downside, ending with that giant COVID dump, that black swan event, giving us a key low to mark out. And so that was really the start of a new cycle, because that is when the government decided to turn on the money printer and to do quantitative easing, to cut rates. It was really a key aspect of a new market cycle, a key pivot point. Now, the reason I chose the 65K high, because this truly was the top of the bull market. Anytime you have a major top like this after a big parabolic run, oftentimes you will see a bit of a corrective move down, and then you get in this case, a 3-wave corrective move up to take the highs. So what we can call a flat correction in Elliott waves. And if you see, we got that 3-wave corrective move coming up, taking out the highs, grabbing the liquidity above the all-time high, and then our true bear market started. So this truly was the end of the cycle. And also, if you go on the total market cap, that was where the big top was. And if we look at our volume as well, we turn on our volume, you can see our volume spike was at the end of the 65K mark. That is where the majority of the volume ended, and this was more of a corrective move as we were pushing up. Yes, we pushed up from 35K up to 69K, but you can see volume was decreasing as we were pushing up, showing us that it's more of a corrective move. And yes, corrective moves can take out the highs, especially in flat corrections. And so that is why these 3 pivot points were chosen. And of course, the third pivot point is obviously going to be the lows of the bear market. But from this pitchfork, we have been respecting it this entire bull market. I've shown you guys this many times, so I'm not going to spend too much time, but we chopped around the lower band, was able to break it above it, flip it to support, came up to the midline, rejected from the midline off of multiple tries. We came back down to the band, held it as support, broke above the midline, tried to hold above it for a couple months during that our prior all-time high range, dropped down below. Of course, we did hit into a key support, not from this pitchfork, but from our current bull market pitchfork. We hit into our lower band of support, and then we busted straight up to our upper band on the bull market pitchfork, this key bull market pitchfork. But from our bigger pitchfork, we came up to that midline, and we rejected a few times from that midline, making new lows of our local range here. And now what is happening that is very key. Let me hide some of these things so that you guys can see this better. We have busted above that midline. Now, anytime you have a major support resistance area like this, flip, this midline has been key for months. You can see actually going all the way back to March of 2024. It acted as resistance in March of 2024. We were able to get above it in late November through February, and we tried to hold it as support to continue to higher levels. We could not. We had some bearish catalysts happen, and we lost it. So now this high time frame support resistance level, this key area on the charts, is now going to be flipped to resistance again. We came up to it earlier again in June and May. We could not break above it. We saw a new correction, a 3-wave correction to make new lows, to take out the lows of the range, to grab liquidity, and we made another go at it. But this time, making a third attempt at it very, very recently in the last few months, we were able to break above it with a volume-supported imbalance candle to the upside, showing that the market truly is trying to break above this and flip it to support. But anytime you have a key level like this that has been respected on high time frames, you oftentimes will break above it, form a bit of a range, and then you can come back down and back test that as support, confirming that the market is no longer seeing this as resistance, but it is now going to see it as support. And then if it does confirm as support, you continue up to make new highs and push up to new levels, in this case, new levels of price discovery. So this is what I've been watching for about a week now. We've been talking about this in the live streams. We've been talking about this in my videos. And if we zoom in now, let's go ahead and zoom in on the 1 hour chart. What we were waiting for is for this big parabolic move from 98.2 to kind of start to calm down and to start to form a range. Well, we have started to form a range that's now 7, 8 days long, or 8 or 9 days long. And we are seeing that corrective move that we want to see. After an impulse, after one leg of an impulse finishes, you do have a correction. Now, the most common correction is an ABC correction, a three-wave, a zigzag move to the downside. So you have in your A wave, which is this wave here, you generally have a 5-wave subcount of an impulse, and we can go into that in just a second. Within your B wave, you're expecting a 3-wave corrective move to the upside, and then within your C wave, you're looking for another 5-wave impulse to the downside. So we call it a 5-3-5 in Elliott waves. 5-3-5, 5-3-5 here. That's horrible drawing, but that you guys get the idea. And in this count, if we zoom in on the 30-minute chart, you can see very clearly here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have our 5-wave push down. Now, within your corrective move, we saw that ascending channel as a push up. We got a correction down, and then we pushed up into that golden pocket, actually hitting into that golden pocket, which is the most common area for a B wave to reject from, a lower high B wave to reject from a lower high golden pocket. And now we are expecting a bit of a 5-wave move down to come take out the lows of your A wave. Come take out the lows. Now, it doesn't have to. There is such a thing as a running flat where it does not take out the lows, but it's very, very uncommon. And with that high time frame support being just below here, I am expecting for us to continue to grind down, and maybe it's going to happen slowly over the weekend, a grind down into that level of support. And this is really going to be our very, very key back test. If the market can come down here and we can hold this as support, and now it doesn't mean that it's going to be a one-touch bounce and then straight up. Oftentimes you will in that impulse and then form a bit of a range here, and I actually think that is very probable with the weekend coming up. You form a bit of a range here, start to really allow the market some comfort that this is going to hold as support. You know, a very like mini accumulation, a low time frame accumulation cycle, and then you get that push back up, breaking key market structure and starting another 5-wave impulse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breaking out of the range and continuing to new levels. So this is what I'm looking at. That is the highest probability to happen over the next week or so. And we also have to remember, if we zoom back out onto the 2-hour chart, we are still in an impulsive structure to the upside that is potentially not completed. We have from the 98.2K support, we have a wave 1 here, we have a wave 2 here, we have our internal wave 1 and internal wave 2, and then we pushed up directly into our 1.618 Fibonacci extinction target, which was our wave 3, and that is the common area where your wave 3 does end. If we go ahead and pull a trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the lows to the highs, if I can get on there, and to the lows of your wave 2, let me just go ahead and turn on only the 1.618, and you can see here, where did we end that third wave? Exactly where we are supposed to. We hit right into that 1.618, perfect. And so what this tells me is that this impulse from 98.2 is not done. We have had our double 1-2, we've had our third wave complete, and now we're expecting a couple 4-5s at the end. So this 3-wave corrective move down to 115.2 could be our first 4 wave. Then we're going to see an impulse in a 5 wave to make new highs. And then we're going to see another lower internal 4 wave and then another 5 wave to complete this overall impulse. And once this overall impulse is completed, then we could see a much larger, bigger correction down to the golden pocket of this impulse, or we can look at levels once that happens. We do not have enough data on the chart yet, but this is what I'm looking at as the highest probability for Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks here. And oftentimes your wave 4 retracements are longer than your wave 2 retracements. So if we look at, let me just zoom out a little bit more so I can get a better grasp on this. Let me delete all this, get it off the chart. There we go. And let me just get rid of this as well. If we look at how long did our wave 2 take? Right. There. It's about 6 days. So we need at least about 6 days of a correction here. It can last longer. That wave 4 correction can last actually up to 2 or 3 times the length of your wave 2 retrace, that wave 4. And then of course we're going to see another correction. It should be as long or longer than this little correction area here. And so it does suggest that we have a couple more weeks of this sideways grind, upwards grind here, sideways and up grind to complete this impulse to the upside before continuing, before seeing a bigger correction. Now, at the same time that this is happening, we are seeing a lot of the altcoins bottoming out with some key high time frame bullish divs on our oscillators that give us confirmation. And then if we go to the dominance chart and we look at our dominance chart, we are breaking key market structure bearishly and we are coming down. We have, first of all, we have a channel that has been our trend for about 2.5 years. All the way since March of 2023, we have been trending in a bull market channel on the dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin has dominated this bull market so far this cycle. Well, we've hit into the top of the channel one last time. You can see every time we come to the top of that channel, we get rejections from the top of the channel. And now that we are hitting into the top of the channel, we got one more high to take out those highs of hitting into the top of the channel, and we're breaking dominance down, breaking some key high time frame market structure now bearishly. So, and what I did talk about is if we do lose this midline, then I expect a move to the bottom of the channel. And if you look at our lows that we're seeing, our internal lows of this last move before the last parabolic move, those lows are going to be around the bottom of the channel. I guess now the channel's rising so rapidly that it's going to be a break of that channel. And guys, if we do break this bull market trend, we could see another fake out like we did back in November of 2024, but November and December of 2024. But if we start to break this down, back test it, and really start to drop to our much bigger weekly channel midline at 55%, altcoins can really start to take off here. So that is going to be something that's going to be very interesting to watch over the next weeks. But as far as more local time frame goes, our dominance has continued to drop, and you can see that it's coming down to the bottom of the channel. It's not quite there yet, but we are also below our key pivot lows that were, if we were going to see an SFP type trade of these lows or price action, I know it's not money that we're trading here, but if we were going to see that key liquidity grab and break back above that level, then we could have expected a big bounce on dominance. But because we are breaking below it and now starting to kind of range and grind below it, I expect this grind on Bitcoin dominance to continue in a fashion where we're going to see kind of that exhaustive move with, you know, what a channel, like those channels that we see towards the end, these exhaustive moves coming down into the bottom of our big ascending channel. And then we could see that key break in market structure and a flip and a move up. Now, if we do bounce from the bottom of the channel, Bitcoin will start to take off against the altcoins, and we might see those bigger pullbacks on the altcoins. So soon we can expect some big pullbacks on altcoins. A lot of those altcoins are hitting into some big resistances, and soon we should be seeing those pullbacks on altcoins. But I do think we have a little bit more of a grind down to hit into the bottom of the channel to see if it holds that support. And now let me go ahead and zoom back out to the daily chart. And what I want to show you is this key range that we've been looking at. Actually, I'll zoom out a bit more on the 3-day chart. And if we look at this volume profile that I pulled, it's all of this bottom price action of the Bitcoin dominance of the past few years, going back to 2017, really. So actually the past 8 years of Bitcoin dominance it's really all the Bitcoin dominance, because this was the very start of Bitcoin. So it's our range for most of Bitcoin's life, but it is a very important range and it has been respected. You can see down below the value area low, we reject, we form a bit of an accumulation pattern down below that value area low, break above it, back test it, and then we get our trend to grind all the way up to the POC. Now, we did attempt to get above the POC, but we could not, and we rejected, and now we're dropping below that POC. So anytime you see a high time frame resistance like this, and you attempt a couple times to get above it and you fail, and you start to break down impulsively, which we are breaking down impulsively, now that POC is also going to be acting as resistance again locally. So if let's just zoom back out into the daily. And if we look locally at that POC, well, what do you notice here? That POC is going to be coming in right around where that midline is. And so what I expect on Bitcoin dominance is that continuing grind down to the bottom of the channel. And then if we can bounce from the bottom of the channel and start to change market structure locally bullish, we can work our way up to that midline, which is going to be in confluence with this resistance, where if we're going to see a true altcoin season this cycle, then I expect a rejection again from this POC and a breakdown of the channel, and a much bigger breakdown, possibly to 55%, where our big weekly channel midline is. And that would also create that head and shoulders type topping pattern, or whether you want to call that a Model 2 distribution pattern. But it would allow for a true altcoin season to take off, and for some of these altcoins to finally pump up and make some new all-time highs in this cycle. This is going to be a big thing that we need to watch for over the next couple months, and I will be keeping you guys updated on my weekly live streams about what is happening in this general area. But as far as market cycle and psychology goes of the market cycle, we know that Bitcoin tends to pump first, then the money rotates into Ethereum, and then once Ethereum pumps, the money rotates into high cap alts, and then it starts to rotate into micro caps. And we are seeing that exact thing happen. Bitcoin pumped first, coming up to 122K, and then we rotated over to ETH. ETH pumped up to, 3,600. By the way, we hit the top of the pitchfork. I gave this scalp long trade yesterday, yesterday morning, and I posted it in the Telegram group. I posted it in a different Discord as well. But we broke above, flipping it to support, broke above, flipping our value area high and our pitchfork lower part of the band to support, and we came down here, and I did take a long from here, looking to take profit fully on my long trade at the top of the pitchfork around 36.30, because we did have a weekly level there, and that was a successful scalp trade that played out, and I gave that in the scalp trades in the Telegram group. But now, getting back to what I was saying, the Ethereum price has pumped up, and now we're seeing it rotate into some of the altcoins. We're seeing the altcoins start to explode now, especially XRP. XRP is another high cap altcoin. We talked about this yesterday. I said yesterday that we had a high probability to come up to 359. Well, guys, guess what? We did end up busting up to 359. Yesterday, we were way down in this area, and we ended up seeing that push up all the way yesterday. It happened very quickly. Now our wave 3 could be ended here, and we could see a bit of a retrace and then another push up to finish this impulse here. We'll talk about XRP as well. We'll talk about Chainlink. Chainlink, we gave 3 major levels on Chainlink yesterday, and Chainlink is just a beast right now, breaking through a lot of those levels. Where is Chainlink at? There we go. Breaking above the anchored VWAP, flipping it. Now we're in the process of flipping it to support, but we came up to that 18, and we even busted a little bit. We had a weekly level at 18.7 and a naked weekly point of control up there as well. We busted above both of those levels. Oh, it was naked daily maybe, or naked monthly. There we go. Naked monthly, weekly. We came up, hit that, wicked a little bit past it, but we're seeing a little bit of a rejection from that area, and our value area high is coming up soon at $20. But what we are looking at is we are looking at that money rotate into some of the very high cap altcoins now, and Bitcoin is continuing that 3-wave corrective move down, which I do expect Bitcoin to make new all-time highs, to continue up, to push up to new highs. But at the moment, we are seeing a bit of a range and a pullback on Bitcoin, and we are seeing opportunity for those altcoins to really start to take off. So I do think pullback is due soon. A lot of these altcoins are hitting into major resistances or getting close to hitting into major resistances. We could see a multi-week pullback on the altcoins after that. But then I do expect altcoin season to continue and to continue to push up, because on altcoins, we have weekly bull divs on a lot of the altcoins. We also have some very high time frame flips in market structure. So let me go ahead and check the chat here, guys, see how everyone is doing. Archie, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Israel, I'm so glad you were able to finally catch a stream from the beginning. We can look at Algo. We can look at ICP. Okay, let me... Odyssey, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Yes, guys, please like the video. If you do get anything out of this video, please like the video. Also, real quickly, I know this is kind of annoying for you guys, but I do have a couple partners of the channel, And we are doing some new things with the partners. One of the partners is BYDFI. They are a KYC free exchange. No KYC needed at all. No VPN needed. And I guess unless you're in a country that it's restricted in. But they are offering my affiliate users, if you sign up using my affiliate link, you guys can deposit $100. You get a 50% deposit bonus. They are offering up to 17% discounts on fees if you deposit $100, but if you deposit more money, you can get higher discounts on your trading fees. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in those futures markets. And I have partnered with BYDFI, and we have created a Telegram group. So if you do sign up with my affiliate link in the Telegram group and you deposit $100, just $100, it's your own money, it's still yours to trade. But if you deposit that $100, then you can get access to a Telegram group that I am a part of, that I have created. And in that Telegram group, we are offering, I'm just giving, my trade setups and everything. So if you sign up with that, deposit $100, you can get access to that Telegram group. And I posted that ETH trade yesterday in that Telegram group, and that ETH trade played out perfectly. And so if you guys are interested in signing up, you guys get a 50% deposit bonus on your money. You guys get access to a Telegram group that is free. All you need is the UID to verify. And you guys get to just kind of see, follow me a little bit closer in that group. So if you are interested in that, the link is in the description in the comments. The link for both the Telegram and for the sign up for the BYDFI exchange is in the comments. Now, I've had a few questions. A few people reach out to me about how do I get into the Telegram afterwards. So after you sign up and get into the Telegram group, you need to do step 4, and you need to verify your account by sending the following command. So it's a /verify, and then you'll put your user ID afterwards. And then once you do that and enter it into the Telegram chat, it will automatically verify that you're a member, an affiliate member, and then it will give you access to the group. So if you're interested, that is available for you guys. Just letting you know about that. Now, the second partner of the channel is NAMI. NAMI is a really, really good momentum and money flow indicator. I use it for confirmations to enter and exit trades. Money flow is really invaluable on this thing. And then it does give you guys the bear signals, the bear and bullish div signals, and hidden bear and bull div signals that are really, really helpful in finding when that momentum is starting to lose steam. This is, they are running a 50% off discount code for if you use my affiliate link for any affiliate users of mine. That is in the link in the description. Divine50 is the discount code. And if you guys are interested in purchasing NAMI, that link is in the description as well. And then lastly, we do have MEXC. MEXC is offering a $100 deposit bonus. If you sign up, you'll get $20. If you deposit $100, you'll get $20 free. So a 20% deposit bonus. And then you can earn up to $300 just for trading futures at all on the platform. So that link is in the description as well. I do have a couple of other partners in the making. Bybit is going to be partnering with me very soon here. And it looks like a couple other ones. So you guys are going to have options on whichever exchange you want to use, whether that exchange is in a restricted area for you or not. But if you guys are interested, that is a way to help out the channel. And I generally only partner with these exchanges if it's a win-win for both of us, because I'm not trying to make this all about me. I want you guys to get discounts on trading fees. If you're an active everyday trader, those discounts on trading fees add up tremendously. And also those deposit bonuses are free money that you can use to trade with to build your account faster. So if you guys are interested in that, all of that's in there. Now we can get back to the TA here. Let's, so Bitcoin, you guys kind of know what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. Continual slow grind down to about that 115.2K area. Also, that area, I did cover this in yesterday's live stream, but if we're looking at a double 1-2 impulse here, you're going to take your Fibonacci from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, and we're looking between the 0.382 and the 0.5 for that bounce. And that's often where your wave 4 target ends. So if we do this, we come down to that 0.5, which is also in perfect confluence with our pitchfork midline, bounce from there, and then we could see that impulse in a wave 5 to make new highs. So that is kind of what I'm looking at there for Bitcoin. All right, now let's go on to some of the altcoins. Real quick, I'm going to cover ETH real quick, guys, and then we will continue on. So on Ethereum, we were expecting this range. We were in for about 70 days, and we were holding above the midline. It was also the point of control of our larger range. And we were able to bust above that point of control, work our way all the way up to the upper band here. And just like we formed a range inside the lower band that lasted a couple weeks, I'm expecting something very similar in this area, actually. And also because it is our value area high of our range, oftentimes after breaking above a value area high, you will form a range in this area before continuing the breakout, possibly up to the highs of the pitchfork, which is going to be, 46 to 4,800, depending on time. And so yesterday, let's go ahead and zoom in on the 2-hour chart. Yesterday, we talked about that scalp trade that we were looking at. So on Wednesday, we came up, we hit the top of hit the lower band of the top band of the pitchfork, and we saw a little bit of a rejection here. Let me just get rid of this now. And then we were able to break back above it, hitting into the value area high of the range. And then you can see we came back, and multiple times we back tested on lower time frames, back tested what used to be resistance the day before, now flipping into support. And after we saw our first, I posted this early in the morning yesterday, so let's go to the 15-minute chart here. And what happened yesterday in the morning, we had that first initial dump here. Now the second we reclaimed that pitchfork band and then we flipped it to support, so right here, I longed this right here with my stop. So just along in that, right on the pitchfork band with my stop below the low that was just made, looking to take it up to the highs of the band, which we also had a weekly in confluence there. If we turn on our weekly levels, you could see that there was a weekly up there, right at 36.35. And so this was a scalp trade. We know we have bullish momentum. We know the momentum is likely to continue, and we know we're flipping a high time frame level from resistance to support locally. So it was a high probability. That was a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio trade, risking 1% to make 6% on your account. And that trade played out perfectly. But now on Ethereum, we are hitting into some very, very key resistances, that weekly level up there and the top of the pitchfork band. Now, these pitchfork bands don't often get broken through both sides very, very quickly. So I expect a little bit of a range to form in here, just like we often see in these bands. We form ranges within these bands, a little bit of a cool off, a little bit of time for our oscillators to reset and maybe make some bull divs again, coming down here, making some bull divs again as we get those lower lows, and then see a push, if it's going to continue, a push up to new highs, potentially even breaking out to new all-time highs. Now, I don't think it's going to go straight up to new all-time highs. We do have other resistance, but this range is highly probable to form in the next couple of weeks and at least over the weekend. So now, guys, we've hit into our upper band. We are seeing a clear rejection from the upper band, and on lower time frames, we are starting to break market structure bearishly, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So what I expect on Ethereum, I actually want to see another move down to backtest at least this value area high here at 34.52. But I would actually like to come down to hit the bottom of the band again. So if we pull a Fibonacci, and I'm just going to pull it from this last little range low here to our highs, and let's turn on our golden pocket, and then let's turn on our 786 as well with that. So that general area, you can see that general area, our golden pocket is in perfect confluence with the backtest of the value area high, and the 786 is pretty much in perfect confluence with the backtest of the band. So between this general area is a local area of support where if we do kind of grind our way down there, starting to create low time frame bull divs, we can look for long position here just to take up. And what we will look at is you're going to be playing this as a scalp. So you're not going to be looking for a breakout right away. We're probably going to form a range in here. So if you're playing it as a scalp, don't get greedy. Take profits at scalp resistances. So now if we do come down, let's say we come down to the bottom of the band, 33.90-ish or whatever, and we then will pull a Fibonacci from the highs of the range down to wherever that low is going to be. I'm just going to put it right on the band, and we would look to take profit generally in this area. Also, because we're forming a range in this area, you're going to pull your volume profile and you're going to look at those key levels and look at the right now, the value area high would be in confluence with that golden pocket. If we did something like this, worked our way down and look at, sure enough, the point of control is pretty close to our level of support too. So you'd bounce here, you would look for coming up, and then if you reject from this golden pocket, it would start to form a range. So if I long down here, my first take profit would be this golden pocket area. I'd probably take 50% out. You could retrace and continue higher, or you could dump all the way back down and just keep starting to form a range in here. But I expect a range to form, and this range will be a scalper's heaven. We will be able to play the range. Pull your volume profile, look for highs near the look for longs near the lows of the range, look for shorts near the highs of the range, and then also find other confluences. So that is what I'm looking at on Ethereum over the next week or two. Now let's go into XRP real quick here. XRP, guys, we did talk about yesterday in the stream. We were way far away from it, and we talked about yesterday, XRP has a very high probability to continue to break out to our 1.618 level. Now, I told you guys, I prefer this conservative 1.618. This is the logarithmic 1.618. This is the non-log 1.618. And if we're looking at Ethereum from our lows at the 0.382, I talked about this in depth yesterday. So if you guys didn't watch yesterday's live stream, I really recommend you go in, because I don't want to go through this for 30 minutes again. But knowing that we bounced from our 0.382 Fibonacci support off of this big impulse to the upside, that tells us that XRP is in a strong bullish trend. We also broke back up into our volume profile and broke our volume profile to the upside. And we are looking like a very impulsive price action. So what we're looking at is a potential impulse from that lows of hitting into the 0.382. So we saw our wave one here. Our wave two retraced exactly back to that golden pocket area where we expected it to, making a higher low. And then you want to see a nice explosive wave in a wave three coming up to that 1.618. That is exactly what happened yesterday. We finally came up to that 1.618. Now it looks like we're starting to pull back a little bit, and we're expecting a pullback from this area. We're going to see a slow, grindy pullback. And remember, we're looking for a bigger, larger three-wave corrective move, a three-wave corrective pullback down. And what we're going to measure now, we can actually get our targets for this pullback in order to add to our long position. So you're going to go from the lows of wave three to the highs of wave three. And we are going to turn on those wave five targets, which is between, not wave five, wave four targets between the 0.382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. That is the general area where you expect the XRP price to pull back to. And you can see we do have a fresh daily level that is right in that box of that general area of support. The general area of support we're going to be looking for a bounce is in this area. Well, do we have other confluence? Yes, we have a daily order block in here and a daily level in here. So that 292 area is looking pretty good. That could be an area where we see a nice three-wave corrective move down, hitting into that area, and then see that final fifth wave of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. And once this entire larger daily impulse is completed, then you expect to see a bigger correction down, maybe back testing the value area high of the breakout. So XRP is looking pretty good, but guys, XRP is hitting into that 1.618. I did take profit fully exactly at that 1.618. I had a limit order set. I am out of my XRP long, or actually I'm out of it on one exchange, and I'm out of it about 80% on my second exchange that I traded it on. So, but I am expecting a pullback, and I will look to re-enter and re-add in this area if we are coming up, making bull dips coming down into this area. I expect a bit of a bounce and one last impulse to the upside. So XRP looking bullish. We are at resistance. And guys, with Bitcoin dominance being very, very close to major support levels, altcoins are expected to pull back soon. And I expect a range to form up here over the weekend, and then that big dump, and then a retrace to golden pocket, and then a dump again, overall showing your three-wave corrective move. Okay, that is about it for XRP. Now let's go into ICP. Now ICP, I'm still long on my ICP trade, but ICP here, it is. Okay, let me hide a couple things on the chart real quick here. Oh. What am I doing here? There we go. Okay, so ICP, we saw a giant three-wave corrective move from the last March 2024 highs. We saw our big three-wave corrective move directly into our 1-to-1 Fibonacci. And it was also our macro 786 Fibonacci pull from the last major lows to the highs. And so we did make a higher low after this impulse to the upside. We had our deep three-wave corrective move to the 1-to-1 Fibonacci, to our 786, and then we started to form this bottoming range. Now, what we call this is an accumulation range. And oftentimes the big players will not just buy all at once. They wait for a range to form a higher time frame range, and they generally buy within this accumulation range, generally towards the bottom of the range or the lower half of the range. And so the fact that we are seeing this aggressive dump over the past few months starting to get exhausted, and now we're starting to range sideways, this is a sign that ICP is gearing up for a bigger expansion to the upside, to a breakout to the upside. So if we look at ICP, it's a really good opportunity to spot buy. A couple weeks ago, I wouldn't be buying right now on spot. Now I would wait for a little bit of a retrace and buy around the value area high or the POC. But it's looking like it could be a really good opportunity. But on this ICP, as far as the lower time frame goes, we're gonna be analyzing and paying attention to the accumulation range, because we don't know if this accumulation is done yet, if it's mature enough yet or not. We could see another rotation all the way back down to the bottom, and then we could see one more all the way up to the top, and then another one. This could go on for another couple months, or it could be like a really long one like we saw with XRP or Chainlink. So what we are expecting, though, this is a clear accumulation range here, and we are seeing some bullish signals on this accumulation range. If we go in and we analyze this range, let me just come in here, pull this up. You can see that our volume profile is going to be our key levels to be paying attention to, our key volume levels of support. So what happened is we finally came down and hit that 1-to-1 Fibonacci. You know, we've hit it before, but we finally came down and held that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction and our 786 as support. Now, after holding that as support, we broke back up to our large range point of control. This is the small range point of control, our accumulation range point of control. So this is considered the fair value during the accumulation phase, around 493 or 497. This is our fair value around our accumulation of ICP. Reject from the POC, come down to value area low, hold it as support, and we just kind of range between POC and value area low. But it is showing the market makers that we are now we are willing to buy when it gets to our undervalued portion of the accumulation range. Remember, we're already at the bottom of a much bigger cycle. So we're at accumulation. Now, anytime we get to our value area low, which is considered the undervalued portion, anytime we get down here during accumulation, you bet if people are bullish on this, they're going to be buying this up like crazy. That's why it held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times after breaking back in, and many tests on lower time frames. Every time we got down there, you saw whales buying or bigger players buying. Very bullish sign here. Now we break above. We even come up to the value area high of our accumulation range. We reject from it, but we flip our larger range POC to support. Very key. Our much larger range POC, we're flipping to support. And let me zoom out here. 2-day chart, you can see this much larger bottoming range. We're flipping the POC to support. So this is a very high time frame change in psychology or change in sentiment on ICP. Now the sentiment is starting to get bullish here. We've held the value area low of the accumulation range. We've broken up to the value area high. We did see some low time frame traders take some profit at the overvalued portion of the accumulation range, just because you don't know if the accumulation range is done forming or not. And then we now are holding our bigger range POC as support. Very bullish sign. So now what we can expect is another try at the value area high. But if you can break that value area high and then flip it to support, then you expect a breakout, a move up. And now we are seeing that. ICP is starting to break out here, and it is starting, let me just do this. ICP is starting to break out, and we are starting to break up to the highs of the accumulation range. Now, this accumulation range, the actual highs, let me get out to the 6-hour chart here. In this accumulation range, the actual highs of the range are going to be this guy here at 16.32, I'll say 16.319. And the lows are going to be our lows down here. So what we want to see in order for a true breakout and this accumulation to be done with, this accumulation here to be done with, is we want to see us break that high, and not just an SFP of that high. If we SFP it and come back down below, we could start to continue this accumulation for a bit, for more weeks or for more days. But if we can break out of this accumulation range coming up to our weekly, hitting from our weekly, rejecting, and then coming back down and flipping either those highs or flipping the value area high to support, then we can see that true breakout up to, really up to our golden pocket, which is going to be the value area high of our much bigger range. And that area, I do think that we could easily make it up to that 9.8 to like $10 area on ICP over the next couple months if we start to break out of this range. And actually, it can happen really quickly because after you have accumulation, you generally have a very impulsive breakout and expansion, your expansion phase. And so we should be looking for an expansion phase either coming up soon or, relatively quickly. Here's a good example of that. We had our accumulation range here. We chopped around in it for a bit, broke out, came up to this was probably around your value area high, but we came and take these internal lower highs, had a small retrace, and then your expansion starts and you start to break out of it, break up to new key levels. So we're looking for something very, very similar to happen here. And we don't know, as traders, we don't know if the accumulation range is done yet because we could just rotate all the way back down. But what we did see here, and it doesn't look done, is we had from our bottom here, we had a wave one, a wave two, another wave one, another wave two, another wave one, another wave two. So we have what's called a multiple 1-2 impulse or a triple 1-2 impulse. And then after your triple 1-2s, you expect a 5-wave impulse to the upside. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's your third wave ending. Now, because we had 3 1-2s here, we're expecting 3 4 5s. And so we have our first wave 4, our first wave 5. We're in our second wave 4 right now, and then we have a second wave 5, and then we could have a third 4 and then a third 5, forming that kind of exhaustive channel or exhaustive wedge that happens towards the end of these impulses. And then we could see the bigger breakdown to backtest that value area high and then continue the breakout. So I am leaning more towards at least coming out to take out the highs at 6.32, 6.32. But we might come down in this wave 4 here. So let's actually pull let me get rid of these brushes. And let's go ahead and pull a Fibonacci from the lows, because remember, this was the end of our wave 3 here. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your internal wave 3. So now we're going to pull from the lows of yes, we're pulling from the lows to the highs of this local push up, and we're looking between the 0.382 and the 0.5 here. And that is going to be in the general area where we're at now. And let's zoom out here. Let's see if we have any new daily levels on the chart. No new daily levels. Okay. So we're generally in that area of support right now. And I do expect us to continue breaking up to at least come break out these highs. Or you could even look at, like I said yesterday, you could even look at the highs just right above it. Between like 16.32 and 6.37. I keep saying 16. I mean 6. And then depending on what we do here, if we SFP these highs and start to fall back below them, it would be a short trigger for me. And I would be shorting it to at least come take down to the value area high of our accumulation range. Now, if we hold that, we expect the breakout up to the next major levels. If we don't hold it and we break back inside of it, I expect a rotation down at least to our golden pocket, our macro golden pocket of this entire move. So what you would do is pull a golden pocket from the lows all the way up to the highs, wherever your SFP is, and you'd be looking at that golden pocket, which is also around your POC. But we'll get there when we get there. We can continue to watch ICP over the time being. So right now, I am expecting ICP to continue to grind to the upside. We might not be done with the wave 4 just yet. We might need a little bit more of a drop, 5.68. We might come down to that area. And we could actually, let's go ahead and take this golden pocket. Yeah, the golden pocket is in confluence with your value area high, but generally if you hit this, you're going to invalidate that golden pocket. Actually, I'm sorry, I did that pull wrong. So for your wave 4 retrace, you're looking between, let me just zoom out here. You're going to take the entire impulse of 3, the internal 3, and you're going to be looking in between the 0.382 and the 0.5 of that. So we could actually retrace as low as the 0.382 to the 0.5 down here around the POC. So, but our first level of support is going to be that golden pocket there at the value area high. So I would say that, and especially because we're breaking out of the value area high with volume to the upside, now you're going to want to see a lower time frame back test of that value area high and a flip to support to continue up here. So, and we also don't really want to break this market structure, this bullish channel or whatever you're going to be talking about. So I think that we could come up there and we could bounce from this general area here. And I will actually be looking to add to my long. I'm still long on ICP, but I've pulled out like almost all of it, 90% or more of it. So let's just do this. Let's come over here. Let's set an alert close there. And geez, I can't even type right now. All right, there we go. So that's about it for ICP, guys. Let's get back to the chat real quick. I'm going to read the chat and then we'll go over the next coins here. XRP, we covered XRP. We covered ICP, Algo. Now, I don't know if I've done Algo in a long time here. Okay, and then let me keep reading the chat here. Yeah, Jesus Save 77, thank you for coming in. I did just do XRP, so hopefully you did catch that. XRP is hitting into a key 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. I do expect a little bit of a pullback over the next few days. 6 days to like 9 days, we could probably pull back on it a little bit. Oh, you like the music in the intro. Thank you, dude. I found that music. I was looking at just royalty-free streaming music. I spent hours looking at music, and that one was the one that I liked too. So I'm glad that you guys like that. What's up, Preparing for War? Good to see you in here, man. Thank you for joining. Do you have any opinion on XLM? It is struggling to pass its November highs. I'm wondering how. So XLM as a like the fundamentals of it, I don't have any opinion on that. I know that it's like a sister or a brother of XRP. We can look at XLM in just a second here as well. Yeah, the entire zone between 47 and 51.5 is going to take a lot of volume to break. There's a good zone. Okay, so we'll look at that. MJ25, thank you for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. We're going to look at Link as well. Absolutely. We'll look at Link. If you want to, Crypto Shah 256, if you want to study Elliott wave theory, I know the perfect person because this is where I learned most of my Elliott wave theory from. His name is Koenz Trading, Koenz Trading, and he's a fellow YouTuber, mine, a fellow friend actually. The guy's such an amazing guy, literally the best Elliott wave trader in the world, one of the best. He just went to the Elliott Wave International Institute and interviewed the founder of Elliott Wave International. He is far better at Elliott waves than me. I've learned most of my Elliott wave things. He's really, though, strictly an Elliott wave trader. I am not. I use other confluences. I use indicators for entries and exits. I have a little bit different of a style than him, but I really highly respect that guy, and I think he's a really good guy to learn Elliott waves from. He's got a whole beginner's playlist on Elliott waves, and I highly recommend it for you. And really good dude too. Bitcoin dominance can be traded on Blowfin. Wow. Okay, that is news to me. That's interesting, man. You know what? Bitcoin dominance, if it gets down, you guys, like, if you can trade that on Blowfin and we start to bounce from the bottom of this channel here, God, that could be a really good long to take up to, 65%, 64.6% from, the lows of this channel, about 61.1 up to 64.6. That could be a really good trade there. Okay. Where did I got lost in the chat here. I'm noticing that I'm now wondering about the possibility of it to pass 51 level eventually to break. Okay, I think you're talking about XLM there. What do you think? We'll cover XLM. What's up, Quiles 1100? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining in. Okay, we'll do, so let's see. We got CRV. We got Algo we're going to do now. We've got XLM, CRV, and then there was something else here. Oh, Link. Okay. Guys, if I forget about the coins, because I try to keep track in my head, but if I forget to cover one, just keep posting about it. Keep saying, hey, you forgot Link, or hey, you forgot CRV, hey, you forgot this. And you guys, I've only got about 45 minutes left. I'm going to do something later today with my girl, so I can't be late today. Let's just say that I can't be late. Can you give training videos on Nami? Yes, I still do. AJ, I do plan to make some training videos on Nami. I'm still planning on watching Jason's free videos. Yeah, Market Cipher Bees and Nami are the two that I use. They're both highly useful for me in my trading style. We'll look at Sui as well. Actually, Sui, just real quickly, Sui is seeing that perfect back test that I talked about yesterday of the breakout of our bigger channel. Back testing it now, and actually right now, if this holds, this I added to my long. Now I'm long for much lower, so for me it was safe to add to my long here. But we're at support, and if we are going to see that breakout to come up to 430 or even 441, this area should hold as support, and we should start to push back up there. Now, be aware, we are below the value area low of our range, and earlier today, we did reject off a low time frame bearish backtest. And so this might continue all the way back down to 350, 351-ish, 352. But overall, Sui is at our support level. Actually, no, because the value area high, our big value area high, we're now back below. That's a bad sign that we're back below our big value area high. So really, this needs to hold. If this doesn't hold, this impulse might be done, and we might be front running and seeing another rotation back down to the anchored VWAP even. But I am low from I'm long from much lower, like much lower. So if for me, I took a lot of profit at the value area high, and now I'm just adding some back here. My average entry is still way lower, and my stops already moved up into break even. So for me, this is just, I'm looking to come take out these highs. We got so close to these highs at 430 that actually it's kind of bullish, because anytime you get this close to a major SFP, but you do not SFP it, you generally break through it the next time and come up to the resistance. And so if it's going to work, this is the area. This is the area. We took our range lows already of this little mini range. We took the lows out. And if we can hold here, I expect us to come up really at least to 430, but probably up to 441 to 445. Sorry, I know, guys, I'm not going in order. Let me do Algo again. Algo, USD. Okay, I'm just going to start getting on some of these. Can you tell your opinion on the max price? Curtis J, it's really hard to give a max price on any coin for the bull run. You know, we don't know how explosive this bull run is going to be, but we do, I would say for ICP, I'm not looking for it to come up to new like it wasn't the price at $600 once, so I'm definitely not expecting it to get back up into that $600 range. Sudeep, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in. It's good to see you. Okay, yeah, I'll look at ICP in a second here. BNB, we can look at BNB. Bull divs on TRX after front running critical level. Okay, we got a lot of coins to look at, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover all of these coins today, so let's get to what we can get to. Maybe I'll go a little bit quicker on some of these coins, and maybe I'll do a live stream on Sunday afternoon. I can do a live stream maybe Sunday afternoon, guys. But okay, Algorand, we have this key pitchfork. We had formed our bottom. This was during 2023, the summer of 2023. You can see we pushed up, made a impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse here. We kind of had that higher low come in, and now another big impulse up. But it does look like very locally, we are forming a bottom here in this general area, a bottom, and now we're starting to break out. The key thing was we broke above these highs and we're maintaining. We broke above these highs with volume and we're maintaining it. So it looks bullish. This is definitely the start of a big bullish cycle, and we are coming up to our resistance. Now, I've had this resistance marked out from the last time we did Algo, but you can see we're at the top of our pitchfork band. So we expect some resistance here. When we first came, the first time we came to the lower part of our pitchfork band, we rejected, and we saw a pretty big rejection all the way down to almost make new lows. That's probably your 886. Now we are breaking up. This is 1, 2, 3 here. Our third wave could be done. We could expect a retrace, and let's just update some of the levels in here. Let's go on to our weekly. No new weekly levels. Let's go on to our dailies. And no really even new daily levels. I would say these prior highs now are going to be important to maintain above. These prior highs at 25.95, really 26 cents. 26 cents is going to be really important. But we had our weekly level here. We're breaking above our weekly, and now we're trying to hold it as support. So really even 29 cents is key. Now, guys, I talk about this a lot. We often form ranges in and around these bands. We do have our log golden pocket coming up soon at 35 to 37 cents. Also at 37 cents, we have our monthly level. So I actually expect us to do this, long story short, I expect us to kind of grind in a range in this band, potentially coming up to your weekly golden pocket or monthly golden pocket area before overall finishing this impulse up and then seeing a bigger correction down to backtest the bottom of the pitchfork in confluence with those prior highs before seeing continuation to the upside. So I am leaning towards more upside, but that doesn't mean locally we won't see a bit of rangy price action. We are at major resistance again. You can see here it was acting as support. The candle bodies were closing at the top. The candle wicks were closing at the bottom. But once you lose it, you know, come back in the pitchfork, back test the pitchfork, come up to the band. We rejected perfectly. Lost the pitchfork again, back tested it, came down, made no lows. Now we're breaking back inside the pitchfork, coming up to the band again. So we are at a area of major resistance, but knowing that our golden pocket is just above us, pulled from the highs, our last big daily highs to our lows, we're so close to this golden pocket. I expect us to kind of continue to grind up to this golden pocket between 35 and really like 37.88. But lower time frame, now what we can do is, now that we're expecting a range within this general band area, I would say between the top of the band and the weekly, and actually you can even pull this. This is our range that we're now looking at. From our prior highs, this is going to be our range that now we're looking at. So now let's go ahead and pull our volume profile of that range. I'm just going to go there. Okay, we're back inside the value area high of the range. We're back inside the volume profile. So now let's look for confluence. Let's go from the lows of the range to the highs of the range. Let's turn on our golden pocket first. Do we have confluence? Well, we're at the golden pocket right now. There is a potential this golden pocket holds and we break back up inside of the band. But our value area high of our range is in confluence with the band. So if you do this, come up here, reject, then guess what? You're probably going to see that three-wave corrective move down to lower levels of support. And so now let's go ahead and look at, instead of the golden pocket, we're going to look at our 786. Do we have confluence? Yes. Your 786 is at the point of control of that range. That right there for me is a support level that I would be interested in longing, 28.42. But let's also come in here and let's turn on our naked daily points of controls, and let's see if we have a naked daily point of control there as well. We might have a naked daily point of control there. No, we did have it, but it's been taken. So, and then actually guys, look at this naked daily from yesterday. So we had a naked daily point of control from yesterday at our golden pocket. There is now that we had a naked daily point of control and a golden pocket right here, there is a potential that this holds right now, that we're at local support right now, and that we rotate back up and continue to range in here. So I think that this could hold. If it doesn't hold, I'm just looking for a move down to the POC, which is in confluence with the 786, that 28 whatever level. Let me do this. Let's turn this off. Let's click this and we'll turn both of them on. So yeah, 28.42, and we're at support right now. If our support can hold right now, I expect a move up, pushing above, or at least up to the value area high at 30.5. But really, we want to break back above this. We want to break back above this value area high and the pitchfork band. Let's go ahead and look at some lower time frames. Now, as we're coming down, first of all, I don't like what I'm seeing right now here on Market Cypher B. We just printed some bear divs on NAMI showing, you know, that's bad. Our market structure is bearish, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, potentially lower high, and potentially lower low coming. But we do not see bull divs here. If we were going to hold this golden pocket that we're at right now in confluence with our naked daily, as we were coming down to this level, we would want to be seeing lower lows in the price action and higher lows in your momentum waves, with your money flow not draining out of the asset but bottoming out and starting to come up. We see the exact opposite. No bull divs here, and money flow is continuing to drain out of the asset. So what this tells me is that this golden pocket's probably not going to hold, and we're probably going to keep rotating down to the POC at 28.42. And then if we don't hold the POC, yes, we do have our value area low down here, but our value area low is so close to the range lows, I would expect us to come take out these range lows at 26.90. So, and we are rejecting, guys. We are at the top of a major pitchfork band. Look at what Say did the other day. Say came up to the top of a major pitchfork band. Let me hide this channel. This is local price action that I'm looking at. Say came up to the top of a major pitchfork band in Confluence. And let me zoom out here so you guys can get a better look at this. Top of a major pitchfork band in Confluence. With our golden pocket, we rejected the top of the band. We came to the bottom. We bounced from the bottom. We came up to our lower high golden pocket, rejected. And now we're starting to lose the... I think that Say is at major resistance. And we're starting to lose the band. I think we could even come take out these range lows on Say. But we'll get back to Say sometime. We got a lot to cover here. Okay, let's go back to Algo. All right, so Algo, I do think it's going to continue a little bit lower. We are in that area of support where we can expect, or resistance, excuse me, where we can expect a bit of a range. And if we lose 28.42, I most likely expect a move down to take out, actually probably a move back down to test your lower highs, or your highs, the breakout of those highs, these highs that broke out of. You don't want to lose that. If you lose 26 cents, 25.95, you're in trouble. You're probably going to come back down to 23 cents. And if we can break above, sorry guys, I'm all over the place here. If we can break above, or if we can just hold a range for a bit, then I think we at least have a high chance to continue to 35 to 37. 38 really, 37.88. Larger time frames, daily. Okay, daily's just crossing over into the green on money flow. No bear divs. I do think we're going to eventually make it up to our 38 cent area. Actually, highly likely we make it up there, but range first. Range first, maybe test some local range lows. So now that we have a bias of no bear divs on the daily, money flow looking bullish on the daily, I would be looking for scalp longs at any local support at 28.42. If we're seeing bull divs down there, look for a long. If we take our range lows at 26.90, I think it was, look for longs. If we come down to 26 and we hold it as support, look for longs. Okay, that's it for Algo. Now, CRV, was it? CRV. Okay, CRV, guys, is like just a bullish AF. You know, we came up... First of all, we're looking to potentially have a 5-wave impulse to the upside. This being your wave 1. Wave 2 came down into our log golden pocket, and look at how explosive this third wave is so far. Now, this third wave has a high probability to continue up to 132. But you are going to see pullbacks along the way, and we do have that naked monthly point of control at 112, and that's also where your macro 786 is, pulled from your prior daily highs to your daily lows here. So I think that 112.6 is, I already set my take profit there. I have a limit TP order on my long on curve from there. And I now will look to, because you can see we have our large volume profile here of this bottoming accumulation range on curve. If we're breaking out of the value area high of that range, and you can see the value area high is right where our prior highs were. So remember, anytime you break prior highs like this, your wave 1 highs, if this is wave 1, the end of wave 1, we had our wave 2 here, we're in a wave 3. Generally, you want to hold those prior highs, which also happens to be the value area high of our accumulation range, as support. So if we come down to that 86 cent area, you bet I'll be looking to add to my longs to bring up to not only 112, but up to 132 and possibly higher, because this is our third wave here. This was our wave 1. This was our wave 2. Our wave 3. Now, your wave 3 is generally not going to go straight up like this. It's still a 5-wave impulse, and we only have one pullback so far in that move. Let me zoom in on this, and we'll look at this. So let's go to the 3-hour chart. You can see here within your wave 3 from the bottom, you're looking for a 5-wave move. So we have our wave 1 here, our little wave 2 pullback, your wave 3 here. We're in our wave 4 pullback right now. And then you should have a wave 5 to complete the third wave within the bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's fractals within fractals, guys, and when it comes to Elliott waves. And that third wave, the fourth wave could pull back to 86, and then your third wave should come up to 132. It does not have to. It could actually stall out at 112.6, 112.9. But I am looking for more upside overall on CRV because this was such an explosive move to the upside, like straight up pretty much. No structure almost at all right here. This pullback could become a liquidation cascade, but between the monthly level that we broke yesterday and flipped to support, you can see we broke it with a nice volume imbalance candle. So we could come back down and fill that fair value gap that's in there. We have a fair value gap, guys, that is right here. From these wick lows here to the lows, that's a fair value gap in there. Actually, let's just do this. If we come in and we turn on our fair value gaps, you can see that fair value gap there. So look at this. If we come down, we fill that fair value gap into our 86-cent level of support being our prior highs and our value area high. That could be an excellent long to bring up to 112 or even all the way up to 132. I am looking for longs to add to my longs still on CRV. I am looking for more continuation to the upside on CRV. So now let's zoom in here onto the 15-minute chart. And are we seeing any bull divs yet? No, we are not. You can see here, money flow coming out pretty grossly here. Yes, on NAMI, we are seeing slight bull divs, but for me, it's not enough. And it looks like to me, this is kind of forming that corrective range before coming lower. If you're pushing to the upside, look at your volume. If your volume is decreasing while you're pushing up, it looks more corrective, and then you can continue to dump afterwards. So, but that 86-cent area, guys, I'm telling you, if that holds, we are going to see more price action to the upside. And I would love to see that. Okay, and but that's about it, guys. If we lose 86 cents, then we probably are going to see a much bigger drop to the downside. And I mean, there is not much structure in this move up here. And like, let's pull our Fibonacci from the lows to our current highs, and let's look at our 382. Because your 382 acts, okay, well, guess what? Okay, guys, now we know for sure that 86-cent area is key. Because in a strong trend, your 382 will act as support or resistance. Well, this here is about the strongest of trends you can get, straight up. Now, if this is our wave 3, in your wave 3, if you get a pullback, you expect a pullback to the 382. Well, the 382 also has confluence with your prior highs and your value area high of your accumulation range. 86 cents to me is looking like the level that needs to hold, that must hold, and if it does hold, guess what? You're gonna be getting a really good long there. I mean, that could, and of course, use proper risk reward, use proper leverage and proper position size. Your position size should be calculated based off how long your stop loss is. This number here. And if you guys don't know that, I can do some updates. I can't go into that right now. We don't have enough time to go into risk management right now, but you should be using proper risk management. What I would personally be waiting for is I would be waiting for that kind of bottom to form here, a little bit of a range. Actually, it's highly likely over the weekend that we form a range in this general area, maybe between the monthly and the 89 and 86 cents. And then if we come down to the bottom, we hold it, we get some local bull divs, maybe one last pierce, and then rocket. So, and you're going to be looking for the long like this with your stop below that local low. And then you're going to be looking, I would look at 112 for sure as a TP. That's still a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio up to 132. You're looking at 7.5 risk reward ratio. So, but CRV looks good for more upside, I think. Okay, and thank you for the super chat too, MJ25. MJ25. Thank you for your super chat too. We're gonna go into Chainlink right now because I want to make sure you get it. All right, Chainlink here. Guys, yesterday on Chainlink, this is bad what we're seeing right now, rejecting from the anchored VWAP. But yesterday, we covered Chainlink, and we have this bottoming accumulation zone here, right? We talked about this, and we talked about a potential breakout of that accumulation zone. We were looking at 3 major levels. If you guys remember from yesterday, 3 major levels. The $18 level, which was the SFP, of our highs into our anchored VWAP from the cycle high. We did not see an SFP there, guys. We didn't see it. We saw a little bit of a push up, and then like I was looking at it while it happened because I set an alert. We didn't really get the SFP. You can see we pushed up above it, attempted to come back down, but we closed the hourly candle above it. We came back down and we didn't lose the anchor VWAP at all. And then we pushed up to our next level. You can see we wicked a little bit past our level, but overall resistance on that weekly. So now the next level was that weekly in confluence with the naked monthly point of control. And then our third level of resistance was that value area high at 20. So we did come up to resistance. We are seeing a rejection from resistance. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. And now we are losing the anchored VWAP. Very, very key anchored VWAP that we are losing right now. I do not like what we are seeing here by losing this anchored VWAP, because if we do zoom out onto the daily chart, it's just a wick past the anchored VWAP. We wick past it up to our next level of resistance. And now if we close this daily candle under the anchored VWAP, we could see a little bit bigger of a retrace. But knowing that we have our wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, our triple 1, 2, this is your third wave. And then we could see our pullbacks in, 4 and then 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 coming up to the value area high. So let's look at our potential support levels. Let's just pull a Fibonacci from the lows. I'm going to use this one here to the highs. Let me make sure that's on there, right there. And we're going to look at our wave 4 targets. Now between the 0.382 and the 0.5, so between 16.72 and 15.96. Let's now also look at, let me zoom in here so that we can get a better look on the 1-hour chart. Let's turn on our naked daily points of controls. Do we have a naked daily point of control in there? We have one coming up, but it's before the 0.382. Man, we don't really have anything until we get down to this daily area at 15.4. I would not like to drop that long. If we drop that far, it's going to invalidate our third wave here. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have a double 1, 2, and then there's your third wave. So let me turn this off. So yeah, we pulled it right. Excuse me, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's your third wave. Now within your third wave, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there is a way to count this. So we have our wave 1 here. We have our wave 2 here. Remember, a 3-wave corrective move. That was a flat. You took out your highs in a flat for your B flat. That's the end of 2. Then we have another wave 1, another wave 2, and then this is the start of your third wave. So now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be the end of your third wave. Now we have a 4, 5, and then we're expecting one more 4 and one more 5. But overall, I do expect this to continue up a little bit higher. But we don't have much of support because this was such an explosive move to the upside. I see an order block here. There is this order block of this 4-hour red candle. You see that 4-hour red candle smushed in between these candles? Now, let me give you guys a secret about order blocks. Anytime you see an order block like this red candle that my cursor's on now, followed by a big volume imbalance candle, that order block becomes super, super important, okay? So that level right there, around 17 cents, 17 to 17.1 cents. This order block is going to be super important. Also, you can see those prior highs are resting in that general area. And that order block followed by an imbalance candle makes it super important, because oftentimes you will come back down to fill that imbalance, that fair value gap that's created here. You'll fill that fair value gap into your order block, and then you continue. So 17 cents is looking like 17 to 17.1 could hold. I do believe that's where our naked daily point of control was as well. Let's turn that back on. If it loads. Come on. Yep, your naked daily points of control is right there as well. So guys, that is your level, your first level of support, about 17.1, 17 to 17.1. And if we come into that area and we see local bull divs coming into that area, so 15-minute and under, or maybe like even the 6-minute and under, 12-minute, as we're grinding down like this in this structure, you're going to want to see bull divs, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Right now, we are not seeing it, but money flow is starting to look a little bottomy here, which is somewhat of a good sign. But now let's zoom in on the 6-minute chart. Let me turn this off now. Okay, no bull divs yet, unfortunately. Now, we're not down to 17 yet, but I want to see some bull divs coming in. We're seeing hidden bull div signals on NAMI, which is good, but I want to see more than this. Like, I'm not longing, if we continue to look like this as we're coming down, I'm not longing 17. I would wait to come down to your 382 at 16.7 or possibly even that 15.9 area, 15.95. MJ25 is, let me know if that's kind of what you were looking at as far as the link trade goes, the link analysis goes. I just want to make sure, you know, I covered what you were asking for. Oh my gosh. B-dubs, thank you so much, dude. I really, really do appreciate that, man. That's so kind of you, dude. Thank you so much. CRV, we did just cover CRV, but I think you might have just got in here. Let me go back to CRV here real quick, and I'll show you what we're looking at here on CRV, because we had pumped up, let's zoom out a bit here. So CRV is breaking this key accumulation range here. You can see the value area high of that range is coming in at 86 cents here, 86 cents. And what we are seeing is we broke above that value area high. We broke our prior highs here, and we continued up to, we remember we had that daily that was at 104.4. So we wicked a little bit past that daily. Actually, let's do this. Let's turn on our levels here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My TA is not completely updated on CRV like it is some of the other coins, because I can't keep every single one of the altcoin object trees completely organized. That would take days. It would take 6 hours out of each of my days to update them all, like I do with my Bitcoin chart, where they're very, very nicely organized into weeklies, dailies, monthlies, all that. It's just too much to organize all of them. But CRV, we are breaking up above the value area high of the range. And now we have at that 112.9 to 112.6, we have our macro 786 and a naked monthly point of control. So I do expect us to get up there. And also, if we're looking at our push up of our bigger push, let me just zoom out to the daily here, B-dubs. We had our low of our multi-month correction here. And then we had a nice impulse to the upside here. And then we came back down to our logarithmic golden pocket, making a higher low. So this was your wave 1. This was your wave 2, and right now this clearly looks like a wave 3. It's straight up with massive volume. So our wave 3 target could push us up to $1.32, $1.32. It does not have to get up there, but that is the most common target area for it. We will see retraces along the way, you know, come up to 112, retrace, you know, come up to this, retrace, and then towards the end, you often see that bit of a grind, and then you'll see a bigger retrace in a wave 4, and then you'll get your wave 5, you know. So, but we are, the major level of support, B-dub, that needs to hold on CRV is this 86 cent area. So if we're looking at our 382 acts as strong support and a strong trend. Well, your 382 pulled from the lows of wave 3 to our current highs is coming in right at that 86 cent mark. You can see 85.46, you know. Our prior highs are also there. Anytime you're breaking prior highs like this, you want to really maintain above them to maintain that bullish structure. And then our macro value area high of our bigger accumulation range is there. We have a big accumulation range, this range here, this bottoming range. So now that we're breaking out of this bottoming range, we want to maintain. So if we do, it's highly likely that we do drop down between 89 and 86 cents. You know, that monthly now could act as support. Let's zoom in onto the 1 hour chart. That monthly could act as support, but I do think 86 cents is a better level of support. Between 89 and 86, this box of support is where I'm looking for a potential bounce to continue up to higher levels. So, and right now we are not really seeing bull divs on the chart for where we're at now to hold. So I expect this right now, we're kind of forming a triangle pattern here, and I expect this to break down. Like we kind of have this little triangle thing forming here. And I expect it to break down a little bit, come into 86, maybe 89, but I really expect us to probably come down to 86 and hold that. Now we do have a range forming. These little lows right here are right at your 89 cent monthly. Let's actually go ahead and do this. Let's pull the value area of this little range. So since breaking above the monthly, we'll pull our volume profile. This is why we're holding where we're at right now. It's the value area low of the range. So if this breaks down, we are going to come down a little bit lower. We're probably going to at least come down to take out the lows of the range at 89 cents. So yeah, I would say 89 to 86 cents. Really, really looking for key support to hold there. And I'm looking to bring it at least up to 112.6, 112.9. But really, 120 is weekly, but 132 is the area. Okay, let me see here. AJ, thank you for signing up for the Telegram. Thank you. All right, I am lost in the chat here. Do you let Telegram know when you enter and exit trades? AJ, I'm going to be a lot more active on the Telegram. I just started kind of actively the Telegram earlier this week, and I do plan to post more on the Telegram, more of my trade setups and more of my stuff on the Telegram. So yes, I will be a lot more active in there. This week I've had a lot going on. I have some new sponsors reaching out to me. I've got a couple other things with my other business going on. And so I have a lot going on, and I haven't been able to update it as much as I would like, but I will absolutely be in there for you guys and be in there to give you guys trade setups and stuff that I'm looking at. And I also try to cover it in the live streams for you guys so that you guys can understand what I'm looking for, where I'm looking for it. And I will definitely do a better job at keeping you guys updated. Andrew, what's up, man? Okay, we got BNB that we need to go through, and TRX, BNB, TRX. We did ETH, yeah, Sol, guys, long story short, Sol is going to come up to 189. Like, I think Sol is going to come up to 189. We have that SFP. Let's just zoom out here. Solana is, well, that's that 786 that we hit above, but I do think that Solana is going to come up to 189 to 198. We're so close to taking out those range highs, and we might see a bit of a corrective move here locally. That anchored VWAP at 163 is probably going to hold, but let's also pull a fib from our last lows to our highs here. And, we're in the general area of support. 170, 171 looks like it could hold there because actually, let's see. Okay, yeah, I think that let's do this one here. 170 looks like the level, and then we could come down as low as 165. 165 is the value area high of this small range. It's near our anchored VWAP. So between if 170 doesn't hold, we're going to come straight down to 165. But at 170 to 171, I'm looking for some local support to come in. But overall, I'm looking for this overall bullish trend to continue up to at least take out your highs into your value area high at 189. 189 to 198. Okay, BNB. BNB. Actually, hold on. I've got my main BNB chart. Here we go. Okay, BNB. We haven't looked at BNB for a while, but you can see our last resistance. We came up into it, chopped around in it for a bit, and we did see a breakdown to the bottom of the pitchfork, held the bottom of the pitchfork, and now we're breaking back up above the band, actually kind of above the band. Let's zoom out here. Okay, so we have our upper range that goes all the way back to, what is that? March of 2024, our March highs of 2024. Let's pull this volume profile. You can see here we are breaking out of this volume profile with an impulse to the upside. So that $668 area, $670 area is key support now. We're breaking above it and we're impulsing above it. We bounced after seeing a rejection from the value area high. We rotated down and took our range lows out here into the bottom of our pitchfork. The bottom of our pitchfork was also our major point of control. It held. So now we see that people are willing to buy. In the last year and a half, this 605 is considered fair value for BNB. Well, when we came down there, the market was willing to buy at fair value. They were willing to buy BNB at fair value. It was the bottom of the pitchfork. It was the bottom of our trend that's been holding a lot. And we are impulsing up, breaking our value area high this time, breaking above your prior highs. And now we're coming up to our next daily level. We hit into that daily level that was up here. Let's just come to the daily. Yeah, we're hitting into our daily level and seeing a bit of a rejection from our daily, and we're inside the pitchfork band still. You can see today, if we close today's candle inside our pitchfork band, I expect us to continue to range a bit within this pitchfork band. Possibly this naked daily is obviously not new anymore. Daily money flow looks very bullish here. And if we pull back now, let's just keep this simple here. Let me go to the weekly real quick. Yeah, weekly looks pretty good. We are starting. Here's the thing we need to be worried about with BNB though, guys. Overall, higher highs here, lower highs here. So we have one drive of bear div on the weekly, but our money flow was very bullish. So it's not gonna affect that. But if we do come up and make another higher high into our midline, we would have 3 higher highs, but now look at, and we would have a lower low on our momentum wave, but now your money flow is consistently draining out on the weekly. So that could be your model 1 accumulation. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, distribution. So just be aware that the next high that we make on BNB could be a final high before a much larger distribution to the downside based off the weekly bear divs that we're seeing. But right now, I expect that, so now we're going to be looking to at least take out these highs, right? Look at the last time we hit into these highs. It was perfect into the top of the pitchfork band. We came down, we tried to hold the midline for a bit. We lost it, came to the bottom, bounced up to the midline, came to the bottom, bounced up to the lower band, came to the bottom, bounced up to the lower band, came to the bottom, bounced up to the lower band. So we're chopping between the bottom and the lower band. The key is to be able to break above this band, the upper part of the band, which is going to be coming in about $732. Now that we're breaking back inside the band, look at where the bottom of the band is. This, we want 705, 706 to hold as support. Let's pull a local Fibonacci and let's look at our golden pocket. Yep. Okay. Golden pocket coming in right around 706, 709. That is going to be your local support level. If we come down here and we hold this general area, you want to see a break above that band, potentially coming up to $870, $875. Like that is an area where I would really be looking for a bigger top on BTC, on BNB, excuse me, on BNB. Let's go to the 2-day chart. Yeah, that would be a new all-time high. That would be a pretty good area to be looking at there. So for me, first of all, you definitely want to take profits when you break the all-time high. That's always a must. I mean, you should always take some profits when you come into price discovery. But we've already broken through every resistance. Like this daily level that we just rejected from is kind of our last resistance on the chart. So now I'm really going to be looking for breakout into price discovery. If we can close, we need to get above this daily level, but I do expect we will see a bit of a range in this band, guys. So locally coming down to 706, I would definitely be interested in looking for longs as we come down to 706. And then you could look for a range to form in here for a little bit, especially if Bitcoin dominance is going to break up. We can form a bit of a range for up to a couple weeks around this band. And actually it could be even better than that. It could be a range between the breakout of the value area high, the top of the band, the breakout of the value area high, the top of the band, breakout. That's probably a more likely range that could form. Locally, 706, 707 is going to be acting as support. If that holds, you have internal liquidity grab there into your golden pocket, into your pitchfork band. And if that holds, what you're going to want to look for is pull a golden pocket from the highs down. Let's just put it right on the pitchfork band. And that general area would be a TP1 for me, just in case we start breaking market structure bearishly, because you're going to be coming down. You're going to be breaking market structure. With breaking this low, you're breaking market structure bearishly. So now that you're breaking market structure bearishly, you could look for a lower high before continuing that 3-wave corrective move down to the value area high. And then that value area high at 670 is really going to be the key to hold above. If you can get above 670, if you can maintain 670 now as support, guess what? Rocket ship. So I would definitely be willing to look for longs at 670, but at 706 is a local scalp long area where you could look to long it up to 742-ish. Okay, guys, I've just got a couple minutes left. TRX, we'll look at TRX real quick. B-dubs, Brian, I just want to say thank you so much for that super chat, man. That's super kind of you. I really appreciate that. Crypto Shot, absolutely, man. Thank you to Coons Trading is amazing, so you will like him. And yes, B Dubs, thank you. I'm glad that the CRV was okay for you. A good, good. You're heavy on CRV on spot. That's awesome, Tonka. Okay, TRX USD. Wait, TRX is Tron, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, thank you, Brian. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So what I see here, this is on the weekly chart. Really, we're going to be looking at this weekly range in here. This weekly range in here. Let's go zoom in onto the daily. And we have formed a daily range, a big daily range. It's this guy here. And it does almost look like a potential cup and handle type pattern. I don't trade cup and handles per se, guys, but this is our range that we're looking at. We're breaking above the value area high. Let me just do this. Let me pull it to this guy. Yeah, okay. Breaking above the value area high, flipping it to support, and now we're continuing a parabolic move to the upside. Let's pull our fib from the highs to the lows of our daily range, and let's go, let's turn JC Pocket on, but let's look at this push down. Is this push down enough to look for log? Yes. Okay, so let's click this. Let's go based off log scale. All right, we are coming up into our golden pocket right now. This golden pocket, by the way, guys, because of this move right here that we saw, look at this giant imbalance in here. So there's, nothing in between this area. Giant fair value gap on the daily. Giant, and I don't know why it's not showing up, but that's a giant fair value gap there. Well, I guess it's because this candle here, but this is a little bit of an imbalance that's in here. And so if we do break above this golden pocket, you're probably going to fill this up pretty quickly here because there's not resistance in here except for the 786. But we are at our golden pocket and we're kind of at the highs of these internal highs before this giant scam candle wick or whatever this is. So I would say there is a potential we could reject from this area here. Money flow does look good on the daily. We did just print a hidden bull div 3 days ago, and money flow looks good on NAMI. But we are topping out here a little bit. Let's go look at the 8-hour chart. 8-hour slight bear divs here. Money flow still looks pretty healthy though. Honestly, I think this might continue to run. Yeah, money flow doesn't look the worst. We are seeing bear divs on the 4-hour. We are at macro resistance. I would definitely not be longing here. Do not be longing here. If you're waiting for a pullback, it looks like this push up here does look like it could have ended a 5 waiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we're going to look for, because this last little internal impulse, that was an impulse on the 4-hour chart. Let's just zoom out to the 8-hour so we can get a better look. So now that impulse is finished, you're going to look for a correction. You're going to look for a correction to the golden pocket. That's your most common area to look at. So that golden pocket, and guess what? That also aligns with your prior highs. You can see generally all these prior highs in here, and it's going to be aligning with your prior highs, your golden pockets in there. I would be looking, if you do pull back, and also when you retrace, you're going to retrace generally to take out the lows of your internal wave 4. They're your liquidity, your lows of your internal wave 4 into your golden pocket. So if we do come back down to 29 cents, like 28.8 to 28.5, definitely could be looking for an SFP long. Anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, I'll harp on that again. Liquidity grab into a golden pocket, for sure, that's a for sure area to look for. Now, there's a potential that we don't reject down to that area. We could just continue. We could come down to this 8-hour order block right here. Let's look at, let's go to the 2-hour chart. You could even just pull a golden pocket. Honestly, because it does look like a 5-wave impulse ended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would be personally not looking, because after an impulse, you're looking for a bigger 3-wave correction. And generally it comes down to the golden pocket pulled from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse. So that's where I would be comfortable longing. Long that, look for a breakout to continue up to at least the 786, but probably higher. But honestly, you're at major resistance right now. You're at your last kind of major resistance, and I would be very, very careful longing in here, even though it does look like we are going to continue higher. It does on the daily time frame. But a pullback is, let's just say it's bad risk management to long where you're at right now. Even if you think we're going higher, it is a bad practice. And if you want to be a long-term successful trader, that's a very bad practice to long here thinking you're coming up to here. Wait for a pullback. Wait for at least some sort of, a higher low to come in on the charts. If you're really, really bullish and you really think this thing is going, I mean, you could pull a golden pocket of just this last little leg up from the lows to the highs, and you could look to long this area. Now, once again, guys, look at fractals within fractals. Our prior highs of our big range here came into our golden pocket. Well, look at this. Our prior highs of our lower fractal coming into your golden pocket. So, I mean, that 30 cents to 31 cents, 31 to 30.8, that is the very, very least level of support that I would long. But I'm not, I personally wouldn't do that even. I'm going to be looking for three-wave corrective move. And actually, it would be something like this. It would probably be a bounce here, come up to the golden pocket, and then a move down into this area. And then that is when you could look for the big push up. So, okay, let me check the chat, guys. I do got to get going. I appreciate all of you guys so much for joining. Thank you. If you did get anything out of this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be streaming 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern time here. Turn on notifications because I do tend to sometimes go live during the weekends. It will probably be Sunday afternoon, but I might go live Sunday afternoon. So if you guys are interested, turn on notifications and you will see that pop up. But thank you guys all for joining, and I have a good week. Oh, Sui, Ludong, Sui, I think Sui's at support right now. If Sui can't hold it, we're gonna dump a lot more. But oh, it's dumping through. Okay, Sui, bad news here on Sui, and yeah, I think we're probably going to come down to this POC, to be honest with you. And if we pull a golden pocket from the lows of our last little range to our highs, okay, we're at the golden pocket right now. And you have an imbalance in here. Look at this imbalance that's in here. That, since we're starting to come into that, that might be filled. But look at, if our golden pocket doesn't hold now, we have a very high likelihood of coming down to the POC. And that's going to be at like 347, 348. So it's a bad sign though that we're losing our channel support before coming out and taking out these highs. Like, that's a bad sign. There is a potential it's a fake out. We bounce from the golden pocket, we get back above it. Now for me, I'm not going to be longing this. It's trying to catch a knife and you're starting to break, you're starting to impulse to the downside. So I'd be waiting at least to that POC. But if we do bounce, like let's just say this does hold and we bounce, and then we reclaim the channel, which is at like 38 cents, 379, excuse me, 379, 380. Then you could look for a long on the back test of that to take up to at least 430, probably 441. So, yes, but that's it, guys. I do have to go. Jason, I just saw your message about Cookie. I'm sorry. I have kind of a date thing that I have to go on with my girlfriend. So I gotta go. Let me know on the next stream. I promise you I'll check it out. Cookie, I promise you I'll check it out. I mean, I don't know. Cookie, is that like, yeah, Cookie DAO? I can just look at it for 1 minute here real quick to see. Money flow's looking good on the daily. Money flow on NAMI looking really good on the daily. Let's go to the 8 hour. Yeah, 8 hour, we don't have bear divs, but money flow is starting to come out on both of them. So I would expect you have a little range here. Your little range, pull your volume profile and look at this little range. Now, if we lose the support that we're at right now, which is the value area high, you're probably going to expect to move down to the POC. Let's pull our Fibonacci here. And actually, this golden pocket looks nice too, because you have your smaller range lows right below that golden pocket. You can see SFP of range lows into golden pocket at 17 cents. So that would be, you're at support right now. If you lose this area of 19 cents, then you're probably going to be expecting to move down to 17 cents. And if you do SFP these range lows into your golden pocket and then get above it, it could be a good long. But if you lose it, then you're going to really be expecting to move down to that 786 point of control at 16 cents. But that's really all I have time to cover, Jason. I'm sorry that I can't cover more of that. But that's your levels. Look at your value area high. So pull your volume profile from these last big lows here and just pull it sideways. That value area high, if you lose that and you fall back within the volume profile, you're going to come at least take out these range lows. These range lows are into a golden pocket. So be aware, you could bounce from that. SFP into golden pocket is a great trade setup. And then if you lose that, you're coming down to your 786, which is your point of control. So thank you guys so much. I will see you possibly Sunday. If not, I will see you on Tuesday. I will be more active in the Telegram, I promise. And you guys have a good weekend. Trade safe out there. Use good risk management, okay? Because yes, things are pumping and we can get greedy. Do not get too greedy that you wreck your account.